Welcome to this explainer. Look, today we're getting right into the exact mechanics of completely eliminating financial waste. You know the feeling? You're earning a solid income, but somehow you still feel like you're just treading water. Well, you're definitely not alone. It usually just means you need a quick structural shift. So we're going to go way beyond the basics of zero-based budgeting today to make it aggressive, highly actionable, and most importantly, totally stress-free.
Think about it. You check your accounts on the first of the month and you feel absolutely invincible, right? Then the 30th rolls around and you're staring at the screen asking, wait, where did all the money actually go? You didn't finance a yacht or anything, yet somehow thousands of dollars have just magically evaporated. And honestly, it's not a discipline problem. It's a structural flaw in passive money management.
Which brings us to Section 1, the financial waste problem. Let's dive into this.
You see, most professionals are operating on this system of passive budgeting. You pay your fixed bills, you buy some groceries, and you basically just cross your fingers and hope the leftovers somehow turn into wealth. But here's the thing. Passive budgeting essentially guarantees financial waste. Without an intentional, active plan, your wealth just leaks out through unchecked spending. We're talking about those redundant streaming subscriptions, the frictionless online purchases you make with one click, or that late-night takeout you honestly barely remember ordering. Individually, sure, they're tiny, but collectively, they are 1,000 paper cuts to your net worth. You are working entirely too hard to let your wealth just leak away through the cracks of a passive plan.
So, how do we fix this? That's Section 2, Zero-Based Budgeting Defined.
Fixing this leak requires a fundamental shift in mindset. We have to stop being passive observers of our wealth and become active directors. That exact system is zero-based budgeting. It's a proactive method where your income minus your expenses equals exactly zero. Now, I know, hitting zero sounds absolutely terrifying to some people, but wait, it does not mean your bank account is empty. It just means you have zero unassigned money. Before the month even begins, every single penny has a very clear, designated purpose.
The contrast here is pretty stark. On one side, you have financial waste from passive drifting. Money is quite literally slipping through your fingers. On the other side, you have active command, where every dollar has a specific job. You're no longer just hoping for leftovers at the end of the month, you are actively dictating where your wealth goes before a single day of the month even passes. Essentially, you're shifting from playing defense to playing offense.
And that leads us perfectly into Section 3, Give Every Dollar a Job.
Making this work requires absolute intentionality. The golden rule, the absolute core of this explainer is simple. Give every dollar a job. I want you to think of your income as a giant room full of highly capable employees just waiting around for instructions. If you don't give them a job, what happens? They're just going to wander off, take a nap in the break room, or, get lost in the abyss of impulse spending. If you don't assign them a specific task, they produce absolutely nothing for your future.
So, what exactly are these jobs? Well, first up, necessities. These are your non-negotiables, things like housing and utilities. Second is debt payoff. This is where you're aggressively attacking those liabilities. Third is future savings, which is your real wealth-building engine. And fourth, my personal favorite, guilt-free spending. Seriously, having fun is a highly respectable job for your capital. When you actively assign money here, you can go buy those front-row concert tickets with zero guilt because those specific dollars were literally hired just to buy those tickets.
All right, let's move to Section 4, Mastering Finances Made Simple.
We've covered the philosophy, so let's get into the actual tangible mechanics of executing this. Step 1, track your income. You need to know the exact net amount hitting your accounts, no guessing. Step 2, assign expenses. Go down your list and give those dollars their jobs across your necessities, your debt, your savings, and your fun. And step 3, hit zero. You just adjust those categories until literally no penny is left unassigned. Gaining total control of your wealth doesn't require any sort of complex, crazy spreadsheets. It really just requires this decisive 3-step loop.
Now, the mathematical proof of this system is super simple. Total income minus total assigned equals exactly zero. Let's say you have $200 left over after funding all your core categories. Well, you don't just leave it sitting there and checking to be frittered away. You go back and you assign that remaining capital a job. Maybe that's accelerating a debt payment, or maybe it's funding a new investment. The math absolutely must balance to zero. That is how you permanently lock the doors on financial waste.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final provocative challenge. What job will you give your very next dollar? You now understand the profound difference between passive hoping and active assigning. Please, don't let your hard-earned wealth simply vanish into the background noise of everyday life. It's time to grab the steering wheel, take immediate action today, and give every single dollar a job.